Hi, you guys. Welcome back. My name is Carrie Penny, and today we are going to be looking at, I guess this is technically week 4 of the 30-day challenge to see how much yarn can I use in 30 days. Um, I'm going to be honest, especially the last couple days, because I've just kind of hit my threshold. There is a lot of complaints in the vlogs. We'll talk about it in part of the wrap up for all this as well. But please bear with me. I have definitely been very frustrated the last couple days, but there is a lot for you guys to see. There is a lot of talking through the process. There were some changes, dramatic changes made to what I was working on. So I hope you guys enjoy the vlog portion of this. Definitely stay to the end where we count up how many ball bands did I end up with this week. Also, we will have a week 5. I kind of made that final decision today. It throws off some other things I had really wanted to work on, but we will have a week 5, mostly because I have lost so much time in struggling with things outside of our control. And it would just be really weird to just throw in like 2 days at the end. And I didn't really want to tack them on to this week. I kind of want the end to kind of be its own thing. So I will probably continue to crank through Monday of next week, which will give us basically 5 days or 30, 31, 2, 3, 34, 35 days. So anyway, hope you enjoy. Come back to see the final ball band count. Welcome to the kickoff of day 22, I believe. Yes, day 22. So once again, we're making holes in the totes. A group of that yarn is now over here. I made a scarf that was part of last week's stuff. I am going to pair up matches. I need to weave in the ends on that crochet set over there, plus the one that I just shared in my show and tell. But I'm going to do that. I have videos to edit, so I will be crocheting at my desk for a while today. And yeah, I'm going to be honest, there's a lot. I did a lot this week. So, well, I did a lot for week 3. You can see the pile from where I was filming there in the floor. So I am going to put these together, take some pictures and everything else, but we had over 40 ball bands and 4,800 grams in finished objects just from the cranking. So yeah, lots and lots and lots and lots I got through today. So I am just a shade bit shocked, overwhelmed, happy, overjoyed, everything else. But I'm going to get on. I have one more video to film, and then I'll do pictures. Good morning, you guys. It is day 23. So yesterday I did not crank anything. Nothing changed. Everything's in the same spot. I did, however, crochet 2 granny squares and finished a corner to corner square. So we have 1 skein of yarn for that. So hopefully today I will have some time to do some cranking. Once again, get that usage up, use the yarn. I'm still debating on just cranking all this out into 300 round tubes to do blankets with. Then we've got a hat and scarf plus, hat and scarf, hat and scarf, hat and scarf, hat and scarf. And then the red would make another hat and scarf. So we'll see what I get done, see what I get to. I have a lot of adulting to do today. I need to run a couple of errands today. I'll probably do it this afternoon. We have to drop Troy's car off at the shop, so that's going to involve at least an hour of kerfuffling. So I'm going to lose probably about 3 hours of being able to crank things. But if I can crank, then while my screwdrivers are charging, do the adulting stuff, that would be perfect. The box is ginormous and full. I need to find a second box to start putting stuff in. Maybe something from these Amazon deal days will come in. I'm trying to get Christmas shopping done. I have a stack of stuff missing its matches. So this just needs to be cranked. This just needs to have the ends sewn in. And this one, I messed up the hat. So I need to figure out how to salvage the hat for that, or just donate a blank scarf, which is fine. I want 50 sets, but if there's some extra hat and scarves just floating around, I think that's fine too. Not everybody wants a hat and scarf, so. But that's where we are starting off this morning. I'm going to write down my notes from yesterday, and I'm going to do a little adulting before I come up here and start cranking. Well, happy day 24, you guys. It is 5 a.m. The cats have decided to not hang out on their catio, but to follow me upstairs, which is very unusual, once again, this time of the morning for them to be up here with me. So, as you can tell, we have almost an empty bin. This will probably be empty by the end of the day today. I cranked quite a bit yesterday. These are the ball bands from yesterday. I did have 2 of those Lion Brand jeans. The 2 that I found did not have ball bands, so just wrote notes that those are there. That way when I count it, I could have saved a sheet of paper, but you know, it is what it is. I did just grab this ball of Lion Brand or Peyton's Croy out of my stash. I have one of my FOs for the year, or not FOs, UFOs, is finishing a set that I started 2 years ago. I have the scarf downstairs. I have the leftover tan and red from doing the scarf in here already. So I'm going to do the ear warmer to match that scarf, and that will also complete one of my UFOs for this year. You know, trying to get all the goals done. Let's hit a little bit of everything. I don't know what today's going to be like. I didn't think I was going to get as much done yesterday as I did, but I did get quite a few sets cranked out yesterday, so I don't know what to expect today, other than I know I want to do a set with the purples, and I would like to maybe start cranking some of the tubes for one of the gift blankets for next year, mostly because it's there and it's easy. The goal is to use as much yarn as possible. When I completed counting everything for the donation pile, I was at 41 sets. So we're very close to that goal of 50. And that 41 does not count the 2 crocheted sets I have done that need the ends woven in because they're not in the basket yet. So that means I have 43 sets coming into this week ready to go. I have a feeling this is going to be a very distracted morning, especially since we're starting off with this. Banner is staring into the corner being creepy. What's you doing, Choo-Choo? So I'm happy still asleep, which is a good thing. Pippin had me up at 4 a.m., so I've already been up for an hour. Hence why I'm already coming up here to crank. And why I'm trying to still be quiet. But yeah, so I think I'm going to go ahead and start working on just cranking out those tubes. I'm going to work on this purple set. I have 3 balls of the jeans yarn left, so I'm going to do an ear warmer. Maybe I'll do 2 ear warmers and a cowl or a gator cowl out of the remaining 3. I have a scarf downstairs, so I need 1 headpiece to go with that. And then I'll use what's left to make another set. And that won't take very long. Those are 100-gram balls. Somebody asked, and hopefully I'll remember to mention this in a show and tell too. I am counting the grams in the finished objects. So in the wrap up, we will have a final gram count for everything. But, you know, it's, some of these have been value skeins, some of these have been jumbo skeins and everything else. So this isn't like I've used 100-gram balls. This is, I think week 1 I had 7,000 grams in finished objects. Week 2 I had 8,000 in finished objects. And then I think I had 10,000 in finished objects that I cranked out in week 3. So we will kind of talk about like the breakdown of some of these jumbo skeins and stuff. But yeah, so, you know, even using like the mainstays and I love this yarn. They're not 100-gram skeins. The basics aren't 100-gram skeins, but I have used some Red Heart Super Saver Jumbo as well as the Mary Maxim value yarn. So there are some large skeins that have been used up as part of this as well. So we'll do a full breakdown of what I used, how much I used, and we'll probably also have to do another stash check-in just because the holes that are opening up in my stash. I won't hit the goal of having all of my kits out on the yarn wall, but we are progressing very nicely. So anyway, I'm going to get to cranking as the day wears on. I know I'll have probably about an hour and a half, 2 hours to crank right now. And later this afternoon, probably around 1 o'clock, I'll have another like 2 hours that I can crank. Oh, Banner's a little tiger in the jungles. But yeah, well, I'll have probably about 4 hours where I can crank things for sure today. So we'll just kind of play it by ear and see what happens. But I would like to empty this bucket. I can also, since we're coming to the end of the 30 days, go ahead and put this bucket back up in the closet where I store the empty totes. I cycle through totes a lot, so I don't mind having big empty totes like this sitting around the house. But yeah, my goal is to go ahead and empty this tote, even though I could just put everything into that one. Let's just call it emptying this tote. And then from there, I will decide what to do next. Yeah, I talked too much this morning already. I'll see you guys maybe later this afternoon. Well, happy day 25, you guys. Oh, my mercy me. So, you can see we are now missing a bin. I've reduced the plan by one tote here. I grabbed the rest of the With Love Royal, and I'm going to work with that this morning. It's 5:30, so I'm going to go until the screwdrivers die, or I need to go to the grocery store, so I'll probably leave for the grocery store around 9. So around 8, I'll need to go downstairs and make the grocery list for the next couple days, do that kind of stuff. Looks like Mr. Banner has decided to come back in for a little bit. You just see that floof tail just hanging out all over the place. Yeah, so this is what I have left that I had pre-pulled to work with. We have what can be 1, 2, 3 sets on their own, 4 sets on their own with the green. Then some combination. I gotta see if I've got like a purple. I do have a speckle that I could pair with the aqua and the pink maybe and do a similar set to the pink, purple, aqua speckle set I did 2 weeks ago. And that will clear out this bin except for that one skein of the rusty dusty orange color that I used for the sunset set. I think this Mary Maxim value will pair with this one. I've got plenty of blacks in the neutral tote to pair with the strawberry shortcake black thing here. This one I don't have an immediate partner for, so that's the only thing that, I guess this and that dusty orange are the only ones that I don't immediately have an idea of what I can do with. I'll do some blanket tubes out of those 5 remaining. I love this yarn, Royals. And then for the rest of this 30-day challenge, I am just going to, I guess, grab yarn from the other room and bring it in here to crank. This is heavily diminished. This was almost full when we started. So my next time I do the Where My Stash Is videos, Project Stash Down video, like I'm not really going to have anything much to show in here. At the end of this, one of the things I might do is take these neutrals and reshelve those depending on how much is left or what is left. I do have some, oh, welcome Mr. Pippin. I do have some, like Off-White Premier Basics and stuff like that in there. But, once again, this is where we are with our ball bands. Got a nice big old stack there. So, lots has gotten done. Lots has gotten done. And I still have more I can do. So, anyway, I am going to get crack-a-lackin', get crink-a-lankin', and I will check in with you guys later. Okay, so it's only been like an hour. Not even an hour. All I've done is cranked a 350 round tube. I think I'm going to take all of the royal blue tubes that I made yesterday, and I'm going to go ahead and make these hat and scarf sets. I know I could go ahead and get like a huge jump start on next year's Christmas, but I really, really, really want to do the donations and have a substantial stockpile of those for us to use. So, yeah, I think I'm just going to go ahead. I'm going to use I've got 3.5 skeins left, which should get me 4 hats, I think. So I think I'm just going to use the rest to make hats. And I'll use the tubes that I made for blanket tubes. They're 350 rows, just like the scarves. Because the person I was going to give them to is 6 foot or just under 6 foot. So I think that would be a better usage of the yarn in my time. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to go ahead and instead of holding on to those as blanket tubes, I'm going to go ahead and just, they'll be scarves, and then I'll just sit here and knit the hats this morning. Fair enough? Happy day 26, you guys. I've got Banner's going a little floofy cute. Yeah, so yesterday I finished the pile of blue. I used 2 more skeins out of this bin, and then I grabbed that speckled I talked about yesterday. Brought that in here. So I did, what was it, 2 hats, 5 hats? 5 hats and 2 scarves yesterday, since I decided to turn those blanket tubes into scarves. He's purring, and I don't think y'all can hear it. Banner does not purr very much, but he's very happy right now. So I'm going to try to do something with the pink, aqua, and speckled, and maybe use either the neon and black or the orange. That's kind of my goal right now. It's 6 a.m. I got about 2 hours until it's kitten treat time. He's not the snuggliest kitten in the world, but when he wants snuggles, he's very snuggly. Yeah, so that's what I'm going to kind of focus on right now. Those are going to be the focus for today. And from here, I don't know what we'll do. We'll figure it out. We've got 4 more official days in the goal here. I've been trying to weave in some of the ends as I go. So some things are done, some things aren't done. I don't know what tomorrow's going to look like. So I may or may not come up here and crank anything tomorrow. But if I don't, then it's all going to be finishing work tomorrow. So that's just kind of where my brain is focusing right now. So I will keep you guys updated. All right, guys. So I had to take a break. I got an ear warmer done. And you can even see it from here, how bad this is tucking stitches in the scarf. I had some issues with I Love This Yarn tucking as well, which is fairly fine. The only thing that's gone through this new Addy without tucking and dropping stitches is the Super Saver like, or not Super Saver, Simply Soft like I Love This Yarn. Everything else is giving me fits, and having put a ton of stitches through the old Addy, I know this isn't normal. I'm getting very frustrated, and I've had to re-crank a couple of items because I didn't catch the tucks when we got a string of tucks like this. So we have this bar of tucks here. We have a tuck here. And then we have another bar of tucks right here. So I think I'm actually going to end up exchanging this machine for a different one. And I'll do what I said I was going to do. But I haven't really said anything about it because it's been, you know, I keep thinking user error. I really do keep thinking user error. But, you know, I was reading, you know, oh, well, don't use your screwdrivers if it's tucking or you're having issues with it. So this was all hand cranked. This is me going slowly, hand cranking. And what it's doing is as I'm cranking, it's pulling the yarn down to here and then bringing it up occasionally. So it's not just running behind the stitch guard or under the stitch guard. It's pulling the yarn way out here off of this. And when the stitch comes onto the hook, instead of dropping down on the pegs, it's staying up under the hook. And the new stitch being created is not dropping down. So it's not tucking like a normal tuck. A normal tuck occurs when the previous stitch doesn't release. And so you end up with like a stack stitch here. You end up with 2 loops here. This is all being caused because the yarn is not dropping onto the needle correctly. And I don't have any control of where this drops. And I can't tell if we've got wiggle in here that I'm not catching. It feels tight around everything, but I'm just not. And it did this straight out of the box, which is unusual. Normally those first couple things, you know, my experience, are some of the easiest you're going to get through a machine. So I don't know what else to do. I've been using my dryer sheet. I've been hand cranking. I've got the tension loose. Right now, the I Love This Yarn is doing fine, but the Premier Basics, which is slightly heavier, is tucking. And you can See underneath here where I have my weights. So I don't know what to do. I don't know. I'm just very frustrated. I'm very, very, very frustrated because this shouldn't be happening with this type of regularity. And like I said, the only thing that's gone through without tucks, or I'm having a problem when I establish the, so I use waste yarn, hence the dark blue yarn there, so I can finish these later. And I'm having an issue on the second row with the yarn for the project. All of a sudden it's dropping stitches, which is not a problem I've had on any of the Addies I've used. I don't know. I'm very frustrated. I'm very annoyed because we're almost to the end of the challenge, and I know I'm using a lot of yarn. That's the goal. Use as much yarn as I can. But I'm starting to feel a little salty. I'm starting to feel a little cranky and salty. So I am going to go downstairs and help Troy with some of the outdoor Halloween decorations and continue taking a break from this. All I wanted to do was finish up what I had in here. And right now I'm feeling like I just want to burn it to the ground. Because I'm so annoyed. This is the last, well, it's not the last of the basics. I have a couple more basics in there I was wanting to make some sets out of. If I feel froggy this afternoon, I might repair the old one, replace all the parts and everything, and maybe bring the old one up here and work on the old one, but I don't know. We'll just see. Hey y'all, so I think today is day 27. I am just weaving in ends today. That's all I've been doing. I've got a bunch of the scarves done. Pippin is supervising because that's what he does best. But I have not cranked anything. I really haven't even gone upstairs. I worked on a granny square this morning in the car, but that's really been it. I have now gotten all but 2 of my waste ball yarns back, so I'll have plenty to crank with in the morning. Happy day 28, you guys. So it's 4 o'clock in the morning. My happy butt woke up once again at 3:30 in the morning, so here we are. This is what I have left in the color bin. I was digging through the neutrals bin again, so we are now down to a single level in the neutrals bin. These are my ball bands so far this week. So this video is going to have the last of the challenge in it. So I'm not sure how I'm going to film the end of the video so far, but this is where we are. I'm going to work on that pumpkin yarn first with the cream. Yesterday morning, I had a couple minutes to run up here, and I did grab this speckled gray and black yarn. I'm not sure what I'm going to pair that with. I've got a bunch of black still in here, so I could just do like a black and gray set with that. I did grab that. Yeah. I did a lot of weaving in ends yesterday. I still have a ton of sewing left to do. I have 2 cowls that need to be sewn. I have the tops of like 6 hats that need to be sewn, as well as like 12 ear warmers. So I have a lot of sewing still to do downstairs. I figure I may as well go ahead and start cranking though and knock out what I have up here, or at least until my screwdrivers or hands die. I still spent Saturday evening fighting with the new Addie. I don't know. I don't want to take it apart just to send it back. So I don't know. I don't know what to do. I'm very, when I got my original one, I had 2 that were bad from Amazon before I got the one that worked well. And that's not normal from my understanding. I had one that had clearly been used. And one that just, it didn't work very well. I think it might have gotten damaged in shipping. This one, so I had mentioned the box came to me broken. Like the box was broken when I got it. So I don't know if something happened in storage or transit with it. Or maybe somebody tried to use it and jammed it. But it's not tucking and skipping in the same spot. But even putting the waist yarn on, it's jamming and skipping. So it's not the heavy yarn. The waist yarn I'm using, most of it is like Sport DK, or at least the older ones. The waist yarns are older. They're Sport and DK weight yarn. So I don't understand the problem with this machine. There are a number of things that could have happened, but I am very, very frustrated. So I did go ahead and process a return. I might reach out to somebody and ask what they think is going on. If I thought it was an easy fix, I might go ahead and take it apart. But I've put a lot of yarn through it, but I've been fighting it the entire time, and I shouldn't have been fighting this machine from the get-go. So yeah, that's kind of where I am. I do want to, I only have 2 cakes of this Roll With It yarn. Roll With It melange. And this will need something to pair with it. But I did grab this out of the yarn room the other day because I, just for my own edification, want to put that through there. It's a fine 4-weight, so it should glide through. But we'll see. Well, so I've actually got to run downstairs and grab my waist yarns. I've got all the hats and scarves, waist yarns are out of them now. It's just sewing now. But we'll talk more about that in some of the wrap-up videos. I've gotten a lot of questions about the waist yarn thing. So if you are just finding this video, after October 2024, on my channel, there should be another video talking about using the Addy, how I use the Addy, what do I think about the Addy, especially now that I've put, like 125,000 grams through Addy machines. There will be a video about that. So if you want to know more about the Addy, that is an upcoming separate video. If you're watching this in October 2024, if you are watching this after October 2024, that should be here on the channel, somewhere in like the reviews playlist or something. Again, I want to reiterate, all the information about the hats and scarves individually have been in the show and tell videos 241, 242, 243, and I think 244. So, okay, so before we get into the ball bands, I would just like to remind you guys that all of the FOs are in show and tell, numbered like 241, 242, 243, and will be in 244, 245 if you're coming back and watching this not as they're coming uploaded. Information about the pattern or row counts that I'm using are included in the show and tell videos. This is really about the journey of using as much yarn as I possibly can in 30 days. So check out show and tell, like we'll say 240 to 245, if you want more information about the actual finished makes and what those are and how those are made. the formulas. They're really not patterns, the formulas that I use for those. Yeah. So, what do you guys think as far as me being frustrated? Like, do I have a right to be? I think I do. I'm generally pretty chill and low key, but y'all are kind of seeing this in real time. So I think I have a right to be a little. Anyhow, so even with all that, we do have a ton of ball bands. There were a couple yarns that it didn't eat, drop, or slip. So we do have some ball bands. So are you ready to start counting? I don't know if I can fit all these in my hand without dropping some. So week 1, we had 25 balls. Week 2, we had 35 balls. Week 3, we had 41 balls. So we're at 101, I think, total for the first 3 weeks. My goal was after I got to that point, I was like, okay, I can hit 200. Like, can I hit 50 ball bands in the next couple days and then just kind of finish out to 200 by the end? So how close are we? I'm feeling like we got pretty close to 50 ball bands. Just looking at what I have in my hand. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. Still got a huge stack here. 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40. I think we hit 50. 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. We still have more. 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62. That's with fighting the machine this week. So I do feel pretty good about that. That's a lot of yarn. That's a lot of yarn. So yesterday, one of the things I did is I grabbed the not for a specific project Heartland out of here. I am not going to touch Premier Basic until the new Addie gets here because this is just not working consistently through my machine. The off-white is, and that seems to be about it. So I will not be touching this. I do have some Vanna's Choice in this cubby that could definitely be used to make some hats and scarves. And I can go ahead and make some blanket tubes using the Red Heart Soft and the Raspberry and Cream that I showed with you guys as part of this. I have a couple of cake yarns that I want to see if I can run through the machine today. But yeah, so that is where we are. There's a lot of yarn that has gotten used out of my stash. I am incredibly pleased with where I've ended up with this. This is not where I thought I would be. I thought I might get like 100 balls used. The fact that as of filming this on day 29, the only finishing work that I have left for anything that I have cranked is 7 hats that need to just be closed on the top. So those will be in next week's show and tell 244. But the fact that I've managed to stay on task, get everything finished, having time to weave in all the ends and everything, I am incredibly pleased. Along with, I've made, a handful of squares to go into blankets for future scrap GANs to donate. So all in all, like, I feel very accomplished so far. So we're at 100 and what was that? 163 skeins, 164 skeins for the first 28 days. Plus we'll have a couple extra days. I'm not going to just dedicate myself to cranking for these last couple days. We do have kind of a lot going on over the next like 3 days. So I won't dedicate just to cranking for at least the next 3 days. Plus, I'm waiting for the new Addie to get here. So that's going to involve a ton of fighting today as to what I get cranked or don't get cranked. But I've used 160 skeins of yarn out of my stash. I have enough scrap balls now in order to be able to make probably 3 or 4 scrap GANs. So that will be something that I focus on next year, is using up those worsted weight scraps from making all these hats and scarves. Just kind of in the background. Every week we'll probably have a couple granny squares as we go, and I will keep those on hand in a larger container. Those will be my car projects probably until summer sock camp next year. But I made a lot of hats and scarves so far. This week I had 13 complete sets, and I had the components, I think, to complete 2 other sets. So that would be 15 sets going into the basket. Plus I still have the 2 crocheted sets I need to weave in the ends on. So that will be 17 more going in. I think we were at like 43 last week in the box. So I'm very pleased with where I am. I did not think this was going to turn out like this. I am very surprised with how this has turned out so far, but I can't complain. I can't complain about where I am. This is really, really good, and I am really happy with where I am so far. So I did see a tutorial that I would kind of like to play with to make a 3-panel shawl. I need to figure out how long to make those panels. I do have a 300 row tube that I can test, and then a 350 row tube, obviously, with all the socks or shawl scarves. So we might have some slightly larger projects that I kind of play with here in the next couple days as well, not just the hats and scarves. I do have one set that I know of that's going to go into the not donated pile. It's either going to be kept for myself or gifted, just because my entire family are fans of South Carolina Gamecocks, and we're now hitting winter season. So one of the ladies might like a Gamecock set, or I might want one. So that will go with the green set, as well as the Encore set that I made that are not donatable. But let me know what you think. What are your opinions coming into this? Because must be 9 o'clock. Anyway, I love you guys. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe on this video. It does help girl out. The more engagement you have on a video in the like, comment, subscribe zone, the more it gets pushed out to other people. And I have some fun reviews I'm doing next year and some fun make-alongs. So, Anyway, I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you real soon. Don't forget to go check out the show and tell videos 241 through 245, just to kind of see more about the projects themselves, not about the usage of the yarn. I love you guys. Bye.